Since a lot of you have been asking for this video, here are the 10 best fighters in the current season. These fighters were selected based on their performances, patch notes, and also feedback from former and current Immortal players. If you'd like me to upload a video for the other roles, hit like, share this video, and make sure to comment down below. And of course, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. First on the list is Arlott. His second skill, called Vengeance, is what makes him a formidable hero. It allows him to dash easily around the battlefield, making him a threat against backlane heroes. It not only allows him to dash easily but also deal tremendous damage while gaining a significant amount of HP. This makes him seem like an assassin but with the HP sustain of your typical fighter. As if that's not enough, his first skill and ultimate both inflict control effects on multiple enemies within the range of these two skills. Next is Argus. No, not really. I'm just kidding. Next is Ruby. Despite the recent nerfs the developers implemented on her, she is still a beastly fighter thanks to her annoying control skills, a decent area of effect, and spell vamp. She is also very flexible and can be played in almost any role with zero problems. She's also one of the heroes with skills that have extremely low cooldown times, which helps a lot in teamfights, especially during clutch situations. War Axe will also get a buff soon, and once that version is released, her relevance in the meta will be definitely further increased. X-Borg is another hero that has been gaining so much success lately and is predicted to become even more powerful in the coming weeks thanks to the buff that War Axe will get. Unlike other fighters, X-Borg specializes in long-range combat thanks to his first skill, called Fire Missiles, that allow him to kite enemies easily. Just like Fire Missiles, his second skill and ultimate both have a decent-sized area of effect as well, capable of damaging and preventing multiple enemies from escaping. What truly makes X-Borg powerful is his immunity to control effects. During his ultimate skill animation, X-Borg is immune to most control effects, which makes it an amazing tool, not just for diving, but also outplaying opponents. Not to mention that his passive allows him to break free from the enemy's clutches as soon as it breaks. Yu Zhong is another fighter that thrives thanks to his survivability and wide area of effect. What also makes him formidable is the fact that he has 4 skills, unlike most other heroes that only have 3 skills. Having 3 skills before reaching level 4 gives him a huge advantage against most heroes during the laning phase. His ultimate is also one of the best in the game, since it can be useful in joining teamfights quickly or escaping when necessary. As if the mobility and bonus stats his ultimate gives him wasn't enough, his Dragonoid form, which is his ultimate's second phase, dramatically increases the range of all his skills, making him an even more terrifying foe during teamfights. CC is a fighter that thrives in continuous dealing damage thanks to her above-average attack range. It's not just her above-average range that makes her formidable, it's also her mobility. Her passive skill, Performer's Delight, allows her to gain stacks after dealing damage, which gives her bonus movement speed and spell vamp, allowing her to not just kite, but also survive clashes. Playing CC feels like a combination of X-Borg and Angela. I mean, at least that's what I think and feel. Against most matchups, Masha is probably the best fighter right now. Her damage output is absurd. Not too many fighters and tanks can go against her thanks to her first skill, Wild Power, which has a passive ability that allows her damage to scale based on how high her prey's max HP is. As if that wasn't bad enough for her enemies, this skill also has an active effect that further boosts Masha's damage, allowing her to easily melt enemies and use their own vitality against them. She doesn't just specialize against high HP heroes. She can also slow her enemies' attack speeds by half by using Howl Shock, her second skill. On the surface, her ultimate seems pretty average or sometimes even underwhelming. However, it has a special effect which allows Masha to reset its cooldown every time or each time Masha loses a bar of HP. And no, we're not done yet. Whenever Masha loses an HP bar, she can ignore 1 instance of damage and cleanse herself from most control effects. Did I mention she can also gain a huge amount of HP using Life Recovery, her 4th skill? Terizla is another fighter you don't want to mess with. He's one of the most powerful fighters during the laning phase and the early game, thanks to his second skill called Execution Strike, which has 3 stages. each stage dealing tremendous damage in a wide fan-shaped area. He also has a decent setter skill care of his ultimate and has a passive skill that allows him to greatly reduce incoming damage based on how much HP he is missing. Terizla is a hero that even when built with no damage items can still be very formidable on the offensive end. Freya is a hero with excellent power scaling. She is technically a late game hero that relies on items to reach her power spike, but is somehow still decent enough during the early game thanks to her multi-stage second skill, which is one of the reasons why she is one of the best heroes in the game. What I also like about Freya is her flexibility when it comes to atomization. Regardless if your style is more on the damage side or defensive side, she will still be able to perform her purpose and carry the game if needed. Her ultimate, Valkyrie Descent, is one of the best ultimates in the game. It gives her a full stack of orbs which she can use to activate her second skill's multi-stage effect. It gives her a very thick shield. It also gives her temporary bonus damage, and the icing on the cake increases her basic attack range tremendously, turning her into a long-range goddess of destruction. Diroth is one of the best early game fighters in the game thanks to his passive skill, Wrath of the Abyss, which allows him to deal bonus damage, regenerate HP, and also enhance the effects of his first and second skills. His second skill, Spectre Step, is an ability that makes him very formidable. It does not only close the gap between Diroth and his prey, it also deals damage and greatly reduces their physical defense, which allows him to bully not just fragile heroes, but tank heroes alike. Paquito is a very versatile fighter that has very good mobility, tremendous damage, and incredible control effects. He has a very flexible build path which can either be focused on damage or a little bit of defense. This makes him one of the favorite heroes in the game because of how he is capable of matching the player's playstyle without sacrificing his effectiveness. His second skill is what makes him tough to deal with. Not only is it capable of closing the gap easily, it also deals tremendous damage even when not in its enhanced mode. That concludes our Mobile Legends content for today. What do you think of this list? Do you have any other heroes in mind? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you haven't yet, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stay safe everyone. Peace.